to CBS Sports. This is CBS. Make your best deal, then tell us what you want to pay. No, you're down. No payments till October.
All right. Hi. Okay, that's the shots when we come out. Let me see 3 on preview, Grant. Yeah. Should I see that again? I'll tighten up on 3.
And now until May 9th, save 20% on nearly 100 Mannington Never Wax floors. So come and see the Mannington Gallery of Floors, the beautiful floors with the built-in shine.
Thanks, Ed. We stand on our reputation, and so can you.
Okay, stand by in the studio. Stand by to squeeze. Ready 3. Ready both mics. Squeeze. Take 3, both mics, Jim.
Good evening, everyone. Fire crew.
Ready 4, ready effects 1. Stand by to wait for signature slide in.
Fire in Cloverfields. Jill has the story.
Well, Frank, firefighters say this was a difficult blaze to battle because of the house construction.
Take it.
They say that there were hardwood floors on every level.
Kill Frank's mic.
To get to the back.
Fade it out. Stand by to roll 10.
Also,
Sound coming on 10.
10 inches of insulation in the attic. The home belonged to Harry J. Robin, the
roll
president
10.
of Stone and Thomas.
Take it. Sound up.
Fire broke out at 8:15 this
138.
morning. According to Harry
3
Robin,
DVE on Frank. Change on 2. Setting up the DVE square with
when
Frank.
they noticed smoke coming from the attic. Robin's daughter
You got a lot of time, Grant. Just relax.
from Charleston were the only 2 in the
Yeah,
house.
you got a minute and a half.
When they saw the smoke, they left immediately. None of the family members were injured. Robin said he telephoned the fire department. They arrived about 15 minutes after the fire started. Firefighters from Tridelphia, Valley Grove, West Liberty, Stone Church, Dallas,
2.
and as far away as West Alexander, Pennsylvania, responded to the call.
Change on B.
In the area.
When we got here, the fire was in the...
Car on in.
The guys tried to get into it, and the heat brought them back.
Out. I got you. Combed his hair before he went on TV.
We had water problems with getting the trucks in with the tankers of shuttles. And the guys...
Okay, tighten up the hair more on 3.
About how much of the house would you say is damaged?
Pan left.
Right now, the roof's total loss.
Hold.
It's getting down into the
That's good.
first floor area.
Okay, work. Give me centered shot on Jill.
As soon as the fire was controlled enough to go inside, neighbors
we'll have
and
another
friends
tape
began
here
carrying out
before you
furniture and
go to
whatever
her. So.
belongings could be salvaged.
Okay.
Firefighters say the house is a total
Out
loss
Q,
because of
investigating the
heavy structural
cause.
and water damage. One firefighter was taken to the hospital where he was treated
Stand
for
by in the
smoke inhaling
studio.
and released.
Ready 3, ready
treated
effects
at the
3,
scene.
ready Frank's
The
mic.
Robbins home was equipped with a smoke alarm and security system, but according to family members, they failed to sound. Firefighters are still investigating the cause.
Take it, give him my Kim.
In other news, cocaine distribution and use is growing in epidemic proportion, according to U.S. Attorney William Calabash.
Fade it out.
Cocaine has become so plentiful in the United States that prices for the drug are falling. Calabash says
Stand by to roll 11. Sound on 11 coming.
Citing the recent Spanifour case as a prime example, but he says the Northern Panhandle has a special
roll 11
concerning cocaine.
Take it, sound up.
It is distributed in both
Car on
this
in.
district and outside of this district.
Back out on 4, centered on Jill.
We call primarily a staging area because
Car
it's
on
much
out.
easier to
Change
fly
on 2.
into, some of our airports here in West Virginia because
Out Q would then go to
Pittsburgh, where there are
about
customs
20 seconds
officials
for
and
me.
so forth. And then we're used as a staging area, and within a 250, 350-mile radius, we have several major metropolitan areas.
Stand by.
D.C., Baltimore,
Ready 4, ready Jill's mic.
Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Columbus, and those types of areas in which the cocaine would then go to.
Take 4, give her mic here.
Another major
Stand by to roll 12, ready 12, voiceover.
The Ohio Valley is the fear of
Roll it.
terrorism. Many Ohio Valley
Take
residents
it.
are avoiding Western
Car
Europe
on in.
and the Mediterranean as
Be bringing
vacation
sound up
spots
on
this summer
12
because
shortly.
of increased acts of terrorism.
Car on out.
One survey reveals that owners and managers of West Virginia's largest travel agencies are experiencing a 50 to 70% decrease in bookings to those areas.
Killer Mike, sound up on 12. Car on in. Back out on 3 and DVE on Frank.
A little bit of difficulty in
Car on out.
to go to Europe. So they have changed their
Yes.
minds. and they're
Did you
going
change already on 2?
to Russia,
We did, okay.
to Alaska, and seeing America.
Do you find people are asking which is the
That's a good
safest
camera shot there. His
airline?
head's cut
Yes,
off.
they do, and we're really in a difficult position to say which is the safest airline. The reality is terrorism works. And as long as that fear is in your belly and in your mind, any airline to that kind of a passenger it's a problem.
Are people actually
Stand by to put
staying
your
away
car on
from air travel altogether?
Car on in.
No, actually, we've seen a reluctance
Stand by
to
in the
go to
studio.
Europe, but not
Car on out.
airplanes. So I think
Ready
it's the
effects
fear
3, ready
of
Frank's
being
Mike.
attacked, not
Fear
the
of flying out cue. Take it.
The
Like Jim.
victims of a drunk driving accident have for many years received a maximum of $25,000 in compensation from the state of Ohio. But Ohio
Next
State
thing we'll do is roll 10.
Representative
Sound
worked
on
a
10
bill
coming.
Which would allow the Court of Claims Commissioners
Stand by to roll
award
10, ready,
money to
10 and
people who have
car on.
suffered an economic loss as a result of a vehicular homicide or a drunk
Roll it.
driver.
Take it. Sound up.
This bill would set up a separate program.
Okay, this is 107 in lane. Car on out.
Who have been victimized by drunk driving pay.
Okay, 4, give me a DVE shot on Jill.
Any kind of
Out on
medical
4 and
costs,
DVE.
or in the case of
Change
death,
on
any
2.
kind of death benefits. Currently, the
Okay, pin left on 4.
victims program pays a
Tilt
maximum
down.
of $25,000
Hold.
for loss of life. I think this program's important.
That's
when
what
you
we want,
consider
too, in
that
the
we've had
DVE.
over last year,
Set me up a wipe to 11 and
60,000
effects
drunk
2.
driving arrests.
We'll roll
And
11,
the
we'll
way
wipe
this
2,
would
then
work
we'll
is
squeeze full.
$30 from each drunk
What's wrong
driving
with 12?
fine. We'll go to
We got a problem on 12, Jay?
and it's estimated at $2
Back it
million
up a little bit, make sure we don't get a head clog. Cue it up again or
I don't
something.
think isn't anybody out there who doesn't know somebody that's
On
been
12,
a victim
there you go.
Of drunk driving and
Stand by.
this won't really ease
Ready
the,
4, ready
the
effects
loss,
3, ready
the
Jill,
emotional
Mike.
loss and
Out
stress
cue,
that's
much
caused by
destitute.
either an accident or death of a friend or family member. At least it can help some of those who are left pretty much destitute.
Take it, her Mike Cure.
Starting Monday
Stand by to
morning,
roll
the
11,
traffic
stand by to
control
wipe
signs
11,
will go
effects
up
2,
on
natural
I-70
sound on
eastbound,
11 when we
starting at the
squeeze
bottom
full.
of Two
Roll
Mile
it.
Hill. The
Wipe.
West Virginia Highways Department
Squeeze
will be
forward.
paving more than 6
Natural
miles
sound.
of highway from Middle Creek Road
Set me
to
up a
the
squeeze to
Pennsylvania
12
state
off of
border.
this.
Weather permitting, the actual construction will begin on Tuesday. The eastbound traffic will be channeled into
12,
one lane,
it'll be,
so highway
Frank's
officials say
mic.
to be prepared for slow traffic. Cars as well
Check
as
it out,
trucks will
see
be
if you got it before you put it
traveling that one
online.
lane.
You all set up?
It's a $2.3 million project being handled by the Martins Ferry-based company, Tri-State Asphalt. Highway crews will be
Stand by to
working
roll
5 to 6
12.
days a week,
Stand by
and
to
the project
squeeze.
is estimated to be finished at the end of July. The interstate
Stand
will
by
undergo
Frank's mic.
shoulder
Roll 12.
repairs, drainage, and paving repairs.
Give him Mike, squeeze.
Meanwhile, road construction in Wheeling Center Market is scheduled to begin in 1 month.
We're going to be bringing his mic, or bringing sound up on 12 shortly. Car on in.
Wheeling Mayor Bill Buick says
That's
during
not- oh, that is the
construction,
Center Market.
the parking
Out.
shorter.
Kill his mic, sound up on 12.
It's going to create some problems.
Car on in.
Because
Back
of
4
this
centered on Jill.
program. Naturally, while they're working on
Car
the
on out.
sidewalks, putting in the electrical conduits and all that, we're going to have 2 or 3 months when there'll be no parking around the market house itself. And there's going to be
This is
alternatives.
101 in length, about 45 seconds remaining.
The city solicitor has ruled that the parking authority can advance money to the city to purchase more parking meters. The city doesn't have money for capital expenditures
Change
right
on
now,
2.
and they didn't have the money to buy meters. So the parking authority can assist the city in securing more meters, which will be put on 23rd Street and on Lower Market Street from 23rd
Out on
to
4.
23rd, where there'll be diagonal parking, and that parking should take up what we lose in this
Out
area
cue
right
to
now.
get here.
The parking authority is also going to
Stand
assist
by.
the merchants that they
Ready 4, ready
have
Joe's
validate
mic.
parking in the center Wheeling Garage, and we'll try to get people to park on Main Street and on Chapel Street and walk through these alleys in order to get here.
Take it, her Mike Cure.
Unemployment
Stand
was
by to
down
roll
slightly
10.
last
Sound
month.
on
Low
10
gas
coming.
prices meant happy motoring, but on Wall Street it was slightly bumpy roads. Here's a
Roll
report
10.
on the Business Week in review.
Take it, sound up.
According to government figures, the nation's unemployment rate slipped a notch
Out
last
on
month
3 and
to
DVE on Frank.
7.2%.
Effects 3.
Despite the small decline in joblessness, some economists
Round
are calling
2 and
the
effects
current
2.
unemployment rate a sign of a sluggish economy. Oil prices continue to slip and
Frank's
slide,
mic won't come out.
falling below $10 a barrel for the first time in a decade, but rebounding slightly later in the week. Motorists continued to benefit at the gas pumps, while U.S. oil producers continued to take the lumps. Meanwhile, gas stations across the country continued promotion gimmicks to attract customers. This station in Austin, Texas, was giving it away, and over 1,500 motorists lined up to fill up. All that was gold did not glitter this week. Gold prices fell $11 an ounce on Tuesday. Analysts attributed the drop to expectations of lower inflation rates. Tourists in Europe had a hard time exchanging their currency as currency exchanging came to a halt at week's end. The action came as Western European finance ministers gathered for talks in Brussels to try to realign the values of their country's currencies. Polaroid is introducing a new instant camera. Shutterbugs say the camera takes better photographs than previous models, which could mean a pretty financial picture for Polaroid. Sales of domestic autos shifted into low gear last month, decelerating over 21%.
Stand by in the studio.
Financing incentives were
Ready
apparently
3, ready effect 3, ready Frank's mic.
behind the wheels of new American cars. Stock prices fell sharply as the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped almost 30 points on Thursday. The Dow Jones continued down at the end of the week. Douglas Edwards, CBS News, New York.
Take it, it's Mike King.
Ready or not, West Virginia's future economic growth will be...
Stand by to roll 11. Sound on 11 coming.
That opinion came from former Governor Cecil Underwood in an interview with TV7 Smart.
Roll it. Take it, sound up.
The
Chiron in.
changes that are affecting us economically are not
Out.
peculiar to West Virginia. They're worldwide. The economy of the nation's going through a difficult readjustment.
Out on 4 centered on Jill out of this.
Changed a great deal. And whether we will admit it or not, we're into a high-tech age, and we may as well get ready for it. And in that sense, I'm working on a research park up in Morgantown to try to attract some high-tech industry into the state. And the basic industries which we've known in the past are
Downstream your Chiron for transition.
technology from here on. For example, there's a research project underway at Western University.
Stand by. Ready 4, ready Jill's mic.
Software with all money, which means that the
Ready
process
4.
of learning is going to be controlled by technology.
Take 4, her mic here.
Oil industry analysts
Stand by to roll
estimating that
12.
for every
Sound on
worker
12
laid off
coming.
in the fields, 5 workers in related industries will also lose their jobs. Furthermore, they predict that if oil stays in the range of $10 a barrel for the next 6 months or so, some 60% of
Roll
oil
12.
servicing companies will fail completely.
Take it, sound up.
1946, Birdwell Well Service
Going to
rights
transition off
such
this.
companies in North Texas. But since 1982, businesses
Set me up a wipe for your transition. Change on 2.
That drop has occurred in the last 3 months.
People are not repairing wells that go off,
Yeah.
so now they put a pencil to it, and
Yeah, I'll say.
if it's going to pay back in a certain short period of time, well, they just leave it down.
They were supposed to be out of this at
Idle trucks
10:30. We're now at 12.
4.5-acre lot, which, as you
That
can
shows
see,
you-
isn't exactly a picture of activity. In a way, though, Mike Birdwell's lucky, since everything his company owns is paid for. So right now,
Yeah.
even though he's cut wages, he hasn't had to lay anybody off. Still, he realizes pay cuts alone won't keep him in business.
There's a point where we're going to have to stop. The grocery stores aren't any cheaper, the house payments aren't cheaper, insurance isn't cheaper, so our employees...
We won't be out of this till after 13. We'll
These
be
concerns
about
are combined with the
2.5
sense of
minutes
frustration
over,
born
hitting the
out of
break.
feeling that no matter how hard he works, as long as oil prices drop, so will his business.
We don't have control of what's going to happen to us. It all falls on the
Yeah,
shoulders of
yeah, you know, like, they ought to have some kind of concept of
We
time.
have no compassion at all for what's or feelings for what's going on in our
I guess
area,
so.
or when or
Yeah.
why.
Nevertheless, there have been hard times
Okay,
before.
stand by to roll 11.
Weathered a severe slump in the late 1950s, and Mike
Okay.
himself fully intends
Stand by to
to
hit
make
your
it
pump
through
in the
this one.
background.
We're
Stand
gonna
by to
make
wait
it
for your
somehow.
effects.
We hope to be here another 40
Roll
years,
11.
but it's sure got some hard times in the near future.
In Wichita
Hit your bump in the
Falls, Texas,
background.
I'm Alan Berg for CBS News.
Wipes. Squeeze, music up. Stand by to roll VC9. Roll it. Fade your music out. 9 full.
Mowers, and more mowers. Here at Bernie Glenn's,
11's a Riku. I can't see it, so I don't know what's going on.
we have Lawn Boy, and as time goes by,
He's got to look back there to cue it up.
Lawn Boy has side bag mowers, rear bag mowers. Lawn Boy has side bag mowers, rear bag mowers, and some
short break here. The 3 centered on Frank, or no, scratch that, DVE on Frank. Set up your DVE with 3 grand. Change on 2. Route 2 in effect.
Top
2.
Value Furniture's remodeling sale is now
Route 2
going on.
in your
Mark downs
DVE.
at every department
Directly in your
store
DVE
for
over there, Route
watch
2.
the first Bassett Furniture Showcase
Stand by.
at Top Value Furniture.
Ready
downtown
3, ready
Springfield.
effects 3. Ready Frank's Mike. Take it as Mike Kuhn.
Water on the brain is a disorder that used to cause
That's what's wrong with me, water on the brain.
thousands of children in this country every year. Dr. Art Yulin has a report.
Stand by. Stand by to roll 10. Sound coming. Roll it.
Often referred to as
Roll
water
10.
on the brain.
Take it. Sound up.
Every day, the brain produces about a pint
Car
of
on it.
cerebrospinal
Woo,
fluid.
that was a close one.
It
Woo.
circulates throughout the central
4
nervous
centered on
system,
Jill.
nourishing,
Car on out.
cleansing, and providing protection to the surrounding
3 can
tissue.
set up for weather.
After this fluid has
Change
served its
on
function,
2.
it normally exits the brain and is absorbed into the bloodstream.
We're going to Jill
Sometimes
first
the
on
fluid
4 though.
cannot escape,
You
and
can
it
set up
begins
your
to
weather
build up
key and
inside
all
the
that
brain.
crap.
The medical term for this problem is unstructured hydrocephalus. Another way must be found to drain the trapped fluid from the brain. It's accomplished with a man-made drain, or shunt, which is surgically implanted into the ventricles. The combination reservoir pump is surgically implanted just under the skin on the back of the head. A long tube runs under the skin, behind the ear, and down the neck and chest wall. Occasionally, the tubes themselves become partially clogged or even completely blocked. That's a difficulty that 4-year-old Catherine Clark has encountered more than once. Usually, the problem can be corrected by the doctor, the parents, and sometimes even the child, if he or she is old enough. The thing that concerns most parents is their ability to recognize that the shunt is blocked before any brain damage occurs.
We didn't know until one actually
Car on it.
exactly what would
Nope.
happen. We
Out.
were told, don't worry,
Whoa.
you'll know. And believe me, we knew. She changed into
I
an
should,
entirely
oh,
different
I'm going to punch her right in
Sometimes
the
it's
mouth.
necessary to replace a blocked
Here, one more
shunt.
time.
Jeremy Avery and his mother are now used to dealing with malfunctions of his shunt.
Rosanna?
They're just
Huh?
another part of
Oh,
growing
Rosanna?
up.
Yeah.
To detect this problem, pediatricians measure a baby's head at every visit during the first few months of life and compare the readings with standard growth charts. Any abnormality in the size of the head or its rate of enlargement tells the doctor that something is wrong. A parent may suspect a problem if the fontanelle or soft spot on top of the baby's head is bulging. You have to be careful. If the baby
Stand
is
by in the
upset,
studio.
excited, or very active,
Ready
the
for, ready
fontanelle
Jill's
may
mic.
bulge a little bit normally. The best rule, if you have any concern, is to let your
I don't know where that
doctor
car
check the baby.
came from.
I'm Dr. Art Yulin.
Take 4, her mic here.
He's the last of his kind, and he's living
Stand
out
by
his
to roll
last
11.
days
Sound on
an
11
island
coming.
at Disney World in Orlando. The sparrow could very well be the last
Roll
seaside
11.
dusky sparrow in the world.
Take it, sound up.
100 years ago, there were 6,000 of these little birds. Now this is the last known dusky seaside sparrow. He's
Out on
nearing the
3
end
on
of
2
his
sharp
life
for
in a
weather.
breeding cage on Walt Disney World's Discovery Island, where he was brought by the Florida Audubon Society. The only place in North America he ever lived was in the salt marshes near Titusville, within sight of the spaceport, and close to the Windover archaeological site, where 7,000-year-old brains of early Indians have recently been found. He ate tiny spiders and fiddler crabs and hid in the salt marsh hay. He's a victim of mosquito control. His habitat flooded to rid the marshes of insects. Why he lived only there is a mystery. Discovery Island curator Charles Cook can only speculate.
These birds are so unique. I had once imagined that perhaps a tribe of Indians kept them for some reason, and that was why they never were found anywhere else. And the population that was discovered in the 1800s perhaps was these birds that had somehow been involved in some culture years ago.
Cook hopes that land developers and property
Stand by in the
owners
studio. Ready,
take a
3, ready, both.
Not coming back to 4, I take it.
But for the dusky seaside sparrow, it's already too late. As far as we know, this is the last one. I'm Ben Aprey for CBS News at Walt Disney World in Orlando.
Take
Florida.
3, both mics. Skim.
George is here with our spring shower forecast.
Stand by to
wearing
wipe your
his
signature
spring
slide in.
jacket. I like it, George.
Wipe.
It's scotch guarded so that when the rain hits it tonight, it'll be
Fade it out.
See, that's smart.
Ready, A side and car on.
55.
Take it.
This afternoon went up to 70 degrees.
Take effects
And the
1.
humidity presently at 64%.
Shoot.
Barometer 29.90 is dropping off. Winds out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. The river stage at 12.5.
That's nice.
There's
Catch up.
no PSI available
Whoa.
today. The precip is also unavailable. Let's
Let's take a look at that
Ready
national
effects
weather
3
picture and
full.
see just what it is it's
Take
developing.
it.
Or has been developing. Here's the cold front. Frontal system extending from the Great Lakes, and this morning you can
Does
see
he
the
have his beeper?
down into Texas, Arkansas.
He does, don't he?
Clobbered with all kinds of precipitation.
Weather forecast on 12, Grant.
Now, well to the east of it's somewhat
Preset
cooler than what we have here over
in
in
effects
Philadelphia,
2.
where you might have seen that 76ers and Celtics game today.
Do you have 13 in remote?
Over there, and in Martinsburg,
All right.
over in the
13's our transition.
Some
Huh?
15 to 20 degrees.
He told me
cooler than what they
13.
are here. They're down in the 40s there right now. In any event,
Dissolve.
this afternoon you
Change.
can see that the front starting to move. Still hasn't passed by us.
It is on
It's a little bit
13, right?
misleading. In fact, the front is
14.
still
Okay, I'm glad I know these things.
And what is happening is that it
14.
is bringing, in advance of it, some very heavy thunderstorm activity, and we're keeping an eye on that tonight because some of it is
Stand by
located in
dissolve in
central
effects 2.
Ohio and is headed right towards Steubenville at this hour. So there's a good possibility that we're going to get some pretty heavy stuff tonight. Once this gets by us, which will occur overnight, much drier air,
Dissolve.
and as you will see
Change.
for tomorrow, by then, most of this
Preset
is
radar in
might
effects
still
2.
have some lingering clouds associated behind the system, but the sunshine should return tomorrow, and then Tuesday with some cooler air coming down, it'll be sunny and a little bit cooler. Here's the radar
Dissolve.
picture. And as you
Change
can see,
on
at
B.
the present time, most of the
Stand by to
activity
roll.
still somewhat
12.
scattered about,
Ready
the
effects 1.
northeastern
Do you have that
sector
set
of
up
the
in
country.
effects 1, Grant?
Here is the
Roll it.
temperature reading
Take it.
locally at the present time.
Take it.
And it looks something like this. We're still in the upper 60s at most of our local stations. And as you can see, Elkins there in the mountain area further east. It is a little bit on the chilly side. The TV7 weather forecast overnight.
Three. It'll be Mike's transitions
Scattered
on 14.
showers and thunderstorms will continue throughout the night. Many of these storms may produce strong winds, heavy rain, and even a chance of some hail. So keep a lookout for that. 50% chance throughout the evening. Partly sunny and mild for tomorrow, and a high of 70 degrees. Partly sunny, a little cooler.
Ready,
highs
3.
between 60 and 65 on Tuesday.
Take 3. Open Jill's Mike.
Just bringing an umbrella to work.
This
You better
stupid
take
thing.
one out with you when you leave. Tomorrow you won't be.
Roll 14. Hit your bump in the background. Go to your effects, Grant. Squeeze. Downstream your car on. Roll VC9. Fade that out. Ready 9 full. Take it. 14 is the REQ. Sports back. 4 on a 2 shot. 3 DVE on George.
Big Gordo.
Yeah.
Hey, he never gave me no cards. Baseball openers.
He didn't.
Oh, you see a sheet there?
Exhibition baseball. He didn't give you that, what, regular season openers. Okay.
The season openers.
All right, we'll just...
He just gave me the scores.
All right, we'll just tell him we'll come out on camera on him for them. Okay.
Hey George, you'll just be on camera for that. Check his mic.
Let's check George's mic.
As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't end here. It starts here. Count on Quincy to be in the thick of things. What are we looking for?
Let's check. Is his mic on or what?
Yeah.
Try it, Jim.
Is Quincy.
What mic's he in?
Check your mic, George.
Quincy, weekday afternoons at 4.
He's there. Let me see 4 on preview. Stand by. 4's screwed up. Let's try to get that a little better. Ready, 4. Get your shot, 4. Yes, but take it, both mics.
And George is here with
Ready,
Sports
3, ready,
Review.
effects 3.
Said the weather is going to be good for the Pirates opener on Tuesday. How are the Pirates going to do?
Oh, well, we're going to find out tonight because I want to make my baseball predictions on the 11 o'clock sports, but I'm going to take a jet.
Take it. Stand by to take Carriage generator full.
Major league teams, including the Buccos, are packing up the sun.
Ready, Carriage generator.
North is what happened to the local
Take
favorites
it.
on this final day of spring. The old Buccos beat the Mets.
Ready,
2-1,
effects 3.
And they'll have to look at Dwight Gooden, I'm sure, come Tuesday night. So that'll be an interesting opener, and they'll be the underdog. Cleveland, Milwaukee still haven't finished up out in Arizona.
Take effects 3. Change on 2. Set me up a white to 2 in effects 2. Change again. What's that now? Change again.
The American League, Boston at Detroit, Cleveland at Baltimore.
Stand by to white.
Will be in Chicago to take on the White Sox.
White. Stand by to roll 14. Sound on 14 coming.
And at the Gotham State in New York is an indicator. Thoroughbred fans are in
Roll
for a
14.
Triple Crown season this year.
Take it. Sound up.
Next month's Kentucky Derby could be a very interesting test for the
Okay, out of this, change on B. Out of this, we're going to take A and car on.
For the run for the Roses, Mogambo with the
Be George's Mike out of this. Change on 2. You can leave 2 routed up there.
25 yards to go. Magabo would pull even with Ruby and push ahead for the victory.
Yeah.
He finished the mile race at 1:34 3/5, earning $214,000.
Not yet. It'll be right off of that. It'll be on 10.
Was trained by two-time Derby winner Leroy Jolly. Magabo joined Bordeaux Bob, upset winner of the Cherry Hill Mile, and Badgerland. He cruised to victory in the
Stand by. Stand by. Take A and Cairo. Ready, George's Mike.
Jerry Green for CBS News.
Take it, Mike Coon.
You may have seen here on TV7 that the Mighty have fallen in the NBA today. Philadelphia, with that three-point jumper at the buzzer by Julius Erving, defeated the Boston Celtics 95-94. Washington 106, Cleveland 95. Houston ended a long drought against the Lakers, beating them 109-103, and it was Denver 124, San Antonio 106. Now in the championships,
Ready, FX 3 full.
Tournament out in Elm Grove, Savage Construction wins it for the 3rd time in 4 years. They defeated Castle Club 114-112. Shootout in the consolation game where Brookside IGA down Gillingham's 159-119. I'll have more details, including some video on that tonight at 11.
Take it.
Wheeling down.
Okay, stand by to roll 10. Stand by to hit your bump in the background. Preset 10.
Nearly $500,000.
Oh, no bump music. We'll use 10 for the audio. Sound on 10 for the transition audio. Relic. Stand by to roll 9. Relic. 9 up.
It's a special spring sale at Bory Incorporated.
Seconds, no time at all. Say goodnight. No closing.
Special spring savings store-wide on the largest selection of name brand appliances in the Ohio Valley. In stock, ready for immediate delivery. Save on Whirlpool appliances, washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, and freezers. Remember, there's instant credit, no down payment, low monthly payments with no payment till July. Bory Incorporated opens Sunday noon to 5.
Out on 3 on Frank. Stand by. Ready 3, ready Frank's Mike. And then we'll roll VC9 after we take 3, Grant. Take 3 is Mike King.
And that'll do it.
Roll 9. Relic. 9 up. Down to black. 9 up. Net up.
Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. Bob Schieffer reporting new developments today on